The announcement comes as the Prime Minister faces a growing political storm over his decision to welcome the Egyptian-British activist to the UK amid accusations that he posted anti-Semitic and racist comments online.
And overnight, Abdel El Fattah issued an apology, but the Tories and Reform Party argue he should be deported.
This man is a scumbag. He has no place in the UK, and if I was Home Secretary, I would strip him of his British citizenship and deport him.
They're prioritising either sort of political virtue signalling, as in this case, or just speeding up applications to clear the backlog, rather than putting the British people first.
And breaking news in the last half an hour, boxing legend Anthony Joshua has reportedly been injured in a car crash in Nigeria. We will bring you more on that story as we get it.
And almost 2 million patients a month are now waiting more than a month to see a GP in England. That's according to NHS data, as lengthy delays for appointments continue to rise since Labour took office.
And regional airports face some of the steepest business rate increases in the UK next year, piling pressure on operators and raising fears of higher ticket prices for you and me.
We're here at Manchester Airport, the UK's third busiest airport. It's going to see a rise of £4.2 million in its business rates next year, taking it up to a fee of £18.1 million, and that's going to be passed on to travellers.
Yes, indeed. And according to bombshell new figures, a migrant becomes eligible for universal credit payments every 43 seconds. These are the ones you pay for, by the way. Do you think that's fair?
Edinburgh's Hogmanay celebrations get underway this evening with the torch-lit procession launching several days of street parties, music and fireworks. We will bring you the build-up.
So thank you so much for your company this afternoon. We know it's a very busy time of year and most of us aren't exactly well aware of where we are, what we're doing while we're doing it, to be honest with you. Including us.
We're doing our best. We're doing our best.
Yeah, that was just us, by the way. It's that weird time of year, though, isn't it, where it's like, what day is it? Why am I doing this? And we're all feeling a little bit sluggish, I think.
I found Christmas quite exhausting. Getting up, getting a chocolate, getting a cup of tea, getting a turkey sandwich, getting to and from the loo. It's a lot.
It's just
I need to have a load of rest.
And actually managing to get dressed was just whoa, couldn't it? I spent most of the time that I wasn't here in a West Ham onesie. You don't need to see that. I was tempted a couple of times right in the office. But no, we are actually loving all your comments and we're really pleased. Thank you so much, because it's a joy to work with Catherine. She is a brilliant political reporter, so it fills all the gaps in my knowledge. But you are getting so annoyed about this main story, aren't you?
There are a lot of very angry people. Thank you for getting in touch. Somebody has said this... Alaa Fattah was an Egyptian man serving a prison sentence in Egypt. He has tweeted over decades about his hatred for the UK, Christians and Jews, and yet for some reason we give him British citizenship for no reason whatsoever. Well, because his mother had been born in the UK, his grandmother was studying. For some reason we give him citizenship and then fight to bring him to this country. I am beyond words and cannot understand why Labour continually put foreigners above the safety of our own communities. I am so angry. And I think that is worth reflecting on. The duty of any government, their first duty, is the safety of its own citizens. He is a British citizen, well, sort of, but he's an Egyptian man that has been a long time in jail with incredibly offensive views of Jews, white people, police, and the list goes on.
Yeah, an extremist, basically. OK, so let us know what you think. gbnews.com/your say. Join in the conversation about anything you want to talk about, to be honest with you. You can scan the QR code on there as well. But before we get into our stories for you, let's get the news headlines with Aaron Armstrong.
Thank you very much indeed. Good afternoon to you. We'll start with that breaking news. Reports claim Anthony Joshua has been injured in a car crash that killed 2 people in Nigeria. I should add, all of this unconfirmed at the moment. It's understood the former 2-time heavyweight boxing champion sustained minor injuries when his vehicle collided with a stationary truck along a busy section of the Lagos to Ibadan road at around 11 a.m. local time today. Prior to the crash, Joshua had posted this video on Instagram where he's playing table tennis in the country. It comes 10 days after his big money fight against the YouTuber Jake Paul. The British Egyptian campaigner Alaa Abdel Fattah has apologised after social media messages emerged that show him endorsing the killing of Zionists and police. Sir Keir Starmer is facing calls from MPs across the House to strip Mr El Fattah of his British citizenship. The activist, who arrived in the UK on Boxing Day following several years of imprisonment in Egypt, says his posts have been completely twisted. He has been called, their calls are for him to be removed from the country or have his citizenship revoked. Those calls include from the Shadow Home Secretary, Chris Philp.
He said he hated white people, he described white people as dogs, he expressed anti-Semitic views, he called for Jewish civilians to be murdered, he called for Downing Street to be burnt down, he called for the British police to be attacked. This man is a scumbag, he has no place in the UK, and if I was Home Secretary I would strip him of his British citizenship and deport him to Egypt. And if Shabana Mahmood had our country's interests at heart, she would be doing exactly that today.
Volodymyr Zelenskyy says a peace plan to end the war with Russia is 90% agreed after talks with Donald Trump in Florida yesterday. The Ukrainian president added the US has offered 15 years of security guarantees to his country, which he appears to have accepted despite asking for 50. The Kremlin has reacted this morning by saying Ukraine should withdraw its troops from the disputed Donbass region if it wants peace, and President Trump accepts the issue of territory remains unresolved.
Some of that land has been taken. Some of that land is maybe up for grabs, but it may be taken over the next period of a number of months. And you're better off making a deal now. Look, let me tell you, they have been very brave. They fought very hard and continue to fight very hard and do tremendous damage. But Russia would like to see it end, and Ukraine would like to see it. And I think it's time to end.
A mother and her 2 children aged 7 and 4 have been killed in a house fire which took place on Brimscombe Hill near Stroud on Boxing Day. Gloucestershire police say their father, who managed to escape as a serving officer, they've described it as a tragic accident. Separately, a child has died with another taken to hospital after a house fire in Kent. Emergency services say 3 firefighters suffered minor injuries tackling an intense blaze in the village of Ham Street near Ashford. New NHS figures show the wait for a GP appointment has soared under Labour, with around 300,000 people waiting more than a month to be seen in autumn. A total of 7.6 million patients face the delay of more than 4 weeks across September, October and November. That's up 4.2% on the same time last year. The Liberal Democrats who analysed the data say the figures represent a damning failure by the government to improve access. China says it's begun large-scale military operations around Taiwan. The simulations include a blockade of major ports, attacking maritime targets and fending off what it calls international interference. The Taiwanese government says it's deployed appropriate force in response and has called on Beijing to halt its activities. China, which claims the self-ruled island as its territory, sanctioned a number of US arms firms last week for their exports to Taiwan. Air passengers are being warned to brace themselves for flight price hikes as regional airports across the UK face rises in property tax next year. New government data shows most airports will see their bills more than double over 3 years. With Bristol, Manchester and Birmingham among the worst hit, their business rates are set to quadruple in 2026. And 10 men have been named super donors by NHS Blood and Transplant. They're the only people in the last 20 years who've donated blood, plasma, platelets and stem cells, which are used to treat a variety of injuries and illnesses, including life-threatening accidents and cancer. The group of men aged between 31 and 64 are all on the NHS organ donor register too, and they've been praised for their dedication in helping as many people as they can. That's it for the moment. More coming up at half.